I always like that intro, because I like the part when the scholars come in and he, like, disappears.
Me too. I like when they can't look closely at the scholars and be like, wait, that scholar has a crossbow, a blade, a sword.
Hey, at least his outfit actually blends into the time period, unlike Ezio's. Like, no offense to Ezio, but anybody walking around with tons of armor and, like, a bunch of swords and like, a gun and stuff like that, wouldn't you assume, oh, that's an assassin?
You would assume that. I'd also assume you'd save that conversation for after the game is synced and we're playing.
No.
I don't know why you always do that, Chili. You're like, I have something really insightful to say, but only during cutscenes, dialogue, or when we haven't synced the game yet. Then we get into the game and you don't want to talk.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna sync
Load your latest memory.
On loading my latest memory in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I really like the classic white assassin outfit, but when
You like
Ezio...
white people?
Yes.
What would be wrong with that? What would be wrong with the take of not hating all white people, Nate?
I don't know. Ask like people in the world.
Okay.
But when Ezio wears it and nobody else is wearing white and there's like no similar looking robes at all in the time period, it's like, isn't it kind of obvious that this guy's an assassin on the run?
Yes. By the way, do you want to get any... Should we just wait to get these viewpoints until we're going those directions?
Oh, we can do that.
Or what do you want to do?
Well, let's go to the next mission.
Okay, that's up in Damascus, so you're going to take a left. Otherwise, you could go straight, get a viewpoint, and then take a left.
I'll just go left.
Okay. He's just going hard left.
I'm just.
That's why Hillary lost.
That makes sense. I remember
I'm with her.
when me and Gracie played this game, because we played this game around the same time in high school, she said that she hated having to ride the horse to all of the different locations and wanted to just fast travel to them.
Really? That's the whole big charm of this game.
And I really liked the horse stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, the horse stuff is fun.
that was a big charm of this game, and it wasn't really ever fully... I don't think it was ever fully utilized again until, what, Origins? This kind of traveling.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I liked being able to travel
Origins,
between cities.
Origins, you can. Yeah, never mind. Okay, I was thinking of something else. Yeah, you could have a horse.
The horse matters in Origins.
Yeah.
And the mount matters in
Yeah.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like the horses mattered much in the other games. Like in 2, it's whatever. I guess there's a couple places where you ride between, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then in Brotherhood, it's nice to get around the city. I like it, but it doesn't feel as necessary.
Right.
And then, I don't know. You know what? Actually, I take that back. I think Assassin's Creed 3 did it pretty well.
Yeah, three did it well.
Because you're in the frontier.
Yeah, and
4, I
there's some
don't think
places
that
where you
it
have to
needed.
use a horse.
That's true.
4, I don't think needed it. In fact, I don't even know if the horses were in 4. I don't think so.
I don't really remember.
What is this? Like a
Mostly it was
lone
ship
child?
stuff.
Oh, it's
I
a
think.
flag.
I think you could ride a horse, but it wasn't ever required, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't know, though, because
Yeah,
you were...
I don't remember.
I haven't played it in a while.
Because you were in places like Cuba and, like, those kind
Cuba?
of, like... I don't remember what they're called, like the Caribbean-y type places.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they necessarily had a bunch of horses there or not during that time period.
Yeah, I don't think you needed them because most of the locations were just on an island.
Yeah, so it was small enough you could walk around it or run around it.
Yeah.
But big enough that it didn't feel small.
Yeah.
Right.
And you took your ship. That was mainly... Your ship was the horse of that game.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. That was like the travel way.
Which is something I really like about these games, is how they have unique differences between them.
That's cool.
Even though people act like they don't. Yeah, it is cool. Except for the windows fading
Yeah,
in.
Yeah,
That's
like
right.
what is up with that?
I always really liked
PlayStation
Damascus.
better.
I always thought that coming here was really cool.
Yeah, Damascus is awesome.
I love this music.
I know it's a different country, but this is the kind of vibe I want from Mirage.
Yeah.
Sort of this deserty, tropic-y, I don't know what you'd say, arid place with people in it, and that's kind of what it... Oh yeah, you gotta save this guy. So you have to lock on with left trigger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's something I liked about the trailer of Mirage, is that it reminded me so much of this game. Because I like
I want to
this
grab
kind
this
of...
guy.
I like this kind of time period where it's like...
I need
no
to think of
technology
the
really,
controls.
and it's all very arid and deserty and like, I don't know, for some reason it reminds me of Jesus times. Like, this is what I like.
I love Jesus.
This is what I imagine the Bible like took place in. Does that make sense?
What is up with this guy's neck?
Even though this is like many years after Jesus died in this
I
time.
don't know, but you have to left... There you go.
Boy, I only wish my sons were half as brave as you. I'll see to it that they hear this tale and know what it is to be a true hero.
Thank you for making sure that your kids know that.
Yeah, so you save him, so he'll tell people. I agree with you, Jill. I like it. I think that, I think this time period is interesting. I think there's more you could do back with it. And I do think that the Assassins kind of taking place with technology throughout the years works too. You're supposed to blend in with those scholars on the left. That's the right.
I just always thought it was fun to kind of go back to these types of time periods that are so ancient that, like, not a lot of people know a whole ton about them. I mean, obviously, like, historians know a ton about them, but, like, normal people, like you and me, probably wouldn't be able to say, oh, yeah, they had this and this and this during this time period.
Okay, I love Nate. He's one of my best friends in the entire world. But
There we
playing
go.
games
There
with him
we
is
are.
so annoying.
There we are.
I don't understand how they show you where it is. Like, what were you thinking about? They literally showed you. They zoomed in on the guys. They were like,
I was
they're right
listening to
here.
Jill.
They're right
I was
here.
listening
Go to
to
them.
Jill.
And you're like, what, huh? And then I say they're on the right, and you turn to the left.
Hey, he has the same problem I do.
That's true. That's a good point. Also, you could very easily tell you're not a scholar, actually.
What? No, this is all scholars.
Oh, you're the head scholar.
At
This
least
is
you guys
scholars.
are all still wearing white and similar looking robes.
That's
Yeah,
true.
if only they were pointy.
It's not like you're wearing a completely different color.
Boy, how many times can you make that joke?
I wish they had pointy hats.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for doing that.
I like the idea that if you're a scholar, you get a free pass.
Yeah, they're like, well, they're praying. What if God strikes me down for not letting them in?
That's funny.
These guys are smart.
This game, by the way, is even more archaic with its combat in terms of, you know how you can kind of mash and get away with it in Ezio? But,
Yeah.
like, that's not how you're supposed to do it. You can't do that here at all. You'll just die. Because it's very much like the combat was very simple. It's very directed around counter, grabs, and just normal slashes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's not much more to it in this game.
That's part of what made this game kind of hard for me.
This game has my least favorite combat.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, it is the first one, so...
I kind of wish they would remake this
have to go back to these
game
people?
where it's got updated graphics and updated combat.
No, we
but-
have to go to... Sorry, Jill, I also need to tell Nate
Sorry.
what to do because we're playing a game. You need to go to the viewpoints. This
Oh,
is just
I see.
showing you where scholars are.
Okay.
So you need to start doing viewpoints in the city so that we have this city unlocked because we're going to spend time
Well, I
here.
figured like the Assassin's Creed veteran over here knew to go to viewpoints first thing when you get to a new location.
I mean, to be honest, this is my first time playing this game.
I need to walk a fine line between helping Nate and him getting mad at me for me telling him what to do here, so... It's like it's really tough because he has a really big anger problem.
I do have
And
a big anger problem.
A lot of people don't see it on camera, but usually he'll throw stuff and cuss us out.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool if they made this exact same game except updated graphics and updated like combat mechanics and stuff like that? Just
Alright.
made it better.
I'm gonna disagree here.
Oh, why?
Whoa.
This game works fine enough. It's a 360 era game. It's not that old, and it's Ubisoft. They would do something to mess it up.
That's
Right.
true.
Do you
that's true.
really? You
It's
really
like
want?
just leave it the way it is.
Do you really want to take the chance that they will make this game again, add in a bunch of microtransactions, add in a bunch of bullshit, and make it worse? Because I don't. I'm in a perfect world where Ubisoft is like good guy company number 3. I would love them to remake this game, but we don't live in that world, and so I feel like we are so lucky that this game is just backwards compatible
Right.
and has like a 4K patch where you can actually see what's going on, and we should leave it alone.
Okay. So, in a perfect world, I think my idea is great.
Yes.
And it would be awesome if they added in outfits. Not ones you have to pay for, free outfits.
What?
Okay,
I
but,
only want microtransactions.
but Ubisoft has lost some touch with what a lot of people want, and I
They
know
lost all touch with what people want. They should just listen to me.
I know none of us are like against the RPGs at all. Don't care. But for years they neglected the fact that you could do both. You could make those RPGs and you could make classic Assassin's Creed and you'd make everyone happy.
Right.
They couldn't even understand that concept. It was all or nothing with them. So I just don't know, with that company as they are and how little they understand what people want, if I would want them going back and touching these old things to redo them, because there were already problems with
You
the
don't want
Ezio.
them to go to your back and touch you?
Oh, I do
I
want
want
that.
that.
I do want that indeed, but I don't get what I want in life.
I think it's because they don't listen to the fans enough, and I feel like they need to hire some more fans that can just spit out some ideas for them.
Go to the wall behind you.
Like,
Now
I feel like they should have people our age who have played all the games, who are a big fan, and their only job is come up with ideas.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I love that.
I should get hired. I have great ideas.
Nate and I have talked about this before, though. Like, the video game industry hates idea people. They're like, oh, you can't code?
Right.
Oh, well, then who cares what you think?
But video games were made out of an idea. Somebody had an idea to make a video game.
And then games became very corporate.
Okay.
Yeah, and now that they're corporate...
Yeah.
And everybody is so disenfranchised because, like, Daddy Corpo treats them poorly. They need to treat everyone else around them poorly.
Yeah, you know, the perfect example for this is Konami.
Yep.
Konami, I don't even know if Konami knows they own the rights to Metal Gear Solid.
No, they do know because they've licensed it for a pachinko machine.
Okay, I got
So if it can be used for a pachinko machine, they know they own it. If it can't be used for it, they probably don't have any idea they own it.
Well, my problem with it is if you never make another game in the series, eventually people are going to be like, what the fuck is that? Why would I play that pachinko machine? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
What is that franchise?
Right.
I've never seen it before.
No, that's true. Yeah, but they don't care.
Oh, okay.
They just care about right now, money right now.
Yep.
I will say, though, Konami's getting better. Because...
I'll believe it when they finally remake Metal Gear Solid 1.
Well, they were forced to get better, though, because now those games are coming back to PC. You know, they actually care about the... I don't know. Some of the climbing in this game is not great. Just... That's what it is.
I'll just deal with it.
So they were forced to get better because... the younger generation has actually moved away from gambling in Japan. It's seen as an old man sport or whatever, like an old man activity to like go bet all your money on pachinko and this stuff. Like, you know how we see old people in America, and not all of them, but there's like a genre of old person who like hangs out at like the casino and spends all their quarters and stuff.
Yeah.
That's how they're starting to see gambling there in general. Is like, oh, this is like what old people do.
Yeah, which is probably a good thing, because gambling is bad for everyone, except for the people making the money off of it.
Pretty much, yes. And so, because of that, they've been a little bit forced to innovate again and go back to Silent Hill. Mm-hmm. So now they're making Silent Hill again, for example.
Wow, I'm surprised they even knew that they owned that.
They did because they made a pachinko machine. Before
That's what it always comes down
There is a pachinko machine earlier on.
That's what it always boils down to.
So they did know. They're like, sir, look through the pachinko machines we've made. What have we made? Well, there's this thing called Silent Hill. Perfect, use it.
What's it about?
Can you win money from pachinko machines, or like what do you do?
Yes, I thought it's kind of like winning money and prizes. So gambling in Japan is weird. In a lot of places, and I'm not the expert on it, but in a lot of places it's actually not legal to gamble money.
Whoa, okay.
And so, there's somebody here who needs your help. And so what ends up happening is, you want to reply them. They were on the right. They're right there. They're like hassling that person.
The guy being beat up.
Yeah. See what I mean? Like,
Jeez.
He's like really smart when it comes to history, but like when it comes to like the game.
Like, I just don't understand why Nate's blind all of a sudden.
I also like how we can see when he mashes up there in the corner because it shows the mashing X. So like there's no hiding the ineptitude this time.
How do you counter?
You hold right trigger and you press X.
I was, and it was not appearing.
It's okay, keep trying.
You have to be in combat.
I am.
Should we start another save file on somebody else's account and do the tutorial again?
Yeah, I should have let Nate play the tutorial. Press X, it's not going to appear, you have to just do it.
I was. Press and hold X.
Anyways.
Like, what is
Nate,
this?
you're gonna die!
Well, okay. This is what I get for helping people.
What? No, this is what you get for being bad at the game. And I never call you out on that, but I'm calling you out on it here. These first, like...
Look, I told you don't need medicine in this game. You regain your health.
Cool. These first 3 Assassin's Creed games, I feel like, for some reason, you have deemed not worthy of getting good at, but for some reason you're like the Jesus in the world of Valhalla. Or like you go into Valhalla and you're pulling out Mjolnir and just doing crazy stuff.
I think you should genuinely try to get really good at this game because this is one of my favorites.
This game is great. I know that so far you don't like the combat, but the combat does work when you know what you're doing.
Well, that's the problem.
So going back to Konami, I had something I wanted to say about them.
I wasn't done with my gambling thing.
Okay,
it's
but
just I don't know how much of this we need to show, it's like I'm showing a beatdown of one of my best friends. Like I have to
that's
show
okay.
him get,
It's gonna go in the best of.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Let me
Basically,
just go here before I get into combat.
This is gonna be a cutscene, I think.
You know how you gamble money in the United States? In Japan, it's different. I'll talk about it after this.
It is good to see you, and in one piece. You as well, friend. I am sorry for your troubles. Think nothing of it. A few of your brothers were here earlier, in fact. Oof, if you'd heard the things they said, I'm certain you'd have slain them where they stood.
It's quite all right.
Yes, you've never been one for the creed, have you?
Is that all?
I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget myself. What business brings you to Damascus?
A man named Tamir. Al-Muallim takes issue with the work he does. I meant to end it. Now tell me where to find him.
Surely you remember how to track an enemy.
Of course. Learn where he will be and when. But that sort of work is best left for... I understand.
Go and search the city, determine what he's planning and where he works. Preparation makes the victor.
What can you tell me of him?
Tamir makes his living as a black market merchant, so the souk district should be your destination. I would suggest you seek out the following places. A small souk northeast of here, the madrasa to our east, and in the gardens north of this bureau. Focus on these places and he should become well known to you.
I assume you want me to return to you when this is done.
Yes, come back to me. I'll give you Al-Mualim's marker and you'll give us Tamir's life.
As you wish.
Remember, Altair, if you find yourself in trouble and the city turned against you, return to the Bureau. I can shelter you from the storm. Be warned, though, if your enemies are too close, my door will remain closed until you've lost them. Do you understand?
Yes. To bring the enemy inside would compromise the Brotherhood.
Very well. Off you go.
He's just really upset he had to go in the corner.
Does this dude have to like climb up to actually shut the door every time?
I don't think so.
Does he have like a little button?
There's a door right there.
Wait, hey, did you see the flags?
We just
Wait, no, I'm stupid. Never mind, those aren't flags.
we just didn't use the front door for some reason.
Can I like talk to this guy again?
You do
No.
remember how to gather information, right? Of course you do. You're Altair.
Well, I like that Altair's a big grumpus who's like,
The market
oh, that
district
works
should be your
meant for
first
the...
stop.
Oh,
Tamir is
wait, I
quite
guess
well
I'm the
known there.
lower rank now. Gosh darn it.
Are we gonna leave, Nate?
It was in a talking cutscene.
Because you kept targeting him.
You want
Okay.
to talk more about old people gambling?
Well, I did, but does no one care?
No, I care.
I mean, I care.
Okay, basically, you know how you gamble money here? Well, there it'll be like, hey, congratulations, you won this pair of sunglasses. Great job, buddy. But then outside, there just happens to be a guy who definitely doesn't work for the casino and definitely isn't giving out money, who definitely doesn't want to buy that specific pair of sunglasses. You won for like, 10,000 yen or whatever.
No.
So basically it'll be like you'll get an item and then there'll be like a shady dude like out back who will buy the item from you.
This is in Japan?
Yes, and that is how they get around a lot of those rules of like you can't gamble specific money in a lot of places.
That's odd.
Yeah, so it'll be like you gamble, you get an item, and then of course it just happens to be that some guy totally unrelated to the business wants to buy that item from you outside. And that's how you exchange your prizes for money.
This makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting how it works.
That is very odd.
I mean, maybe the guy just wants the sunglasses.
Exactly, and pretty much everybody just turns a blind eye to it. It's also a weird rule, though, because, like, if people want to waste their money on gambling, I don't really understand why that's a problem.
Right.
That's their problem, isn't it?
That's true.
Well, yeah,
That's how I always saw it. It's like, oh, that's your problem. Like,
you can spend your money however you want.
Yeah, like, let's say you go waste all your money on gambling, and then you are upset about it. You made your choice.
Right.
If you have, like, an addiction stuff, I think there should probably be information and therapy and stuff made available to you. But I don't really know if I agree with laws prohibiting it.
No.
That's kind of where I'm like, that's a little weird.
Well, maybe it's supposed to be like how we prohibit drugs
Yes,
you know?
and Japan does that too. It's seen as for the public good. I'm just saying, like, when you start making up a bunch of rules for the public good, a lot of times I'm going to find them a little silly.
That makes sense.
Because I feel like the public should be able to make their own mistakes.
So
As long as the mistakes don't affect others, you know.
Yes, right.
I wanted to mention how I think it's kind of ridiculous that Konami has all of these franchises, but they kind of slowly let every single one of them die. And one of the biggest ones that they had was Yu-Gi-Oh! And how that was like a huge thing that everybody was playing. And now everybody's playing things like Magic the Gathering and like all this other stuff. And they kind of just let Yu-Gi-Oh! Fall into the cracks and die when it could have been much bigger if they kept pushing it. And I just kind of find it odd that they like would dump all of these franchises that are just money makers and like forget about them in America.
Well, I mean, it's still going, but yeah, I agree that it could have been bigger.
Yeah.
You know, because they're still making Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but...
But when do you see commercials on TV about Yu-Gi-Oh? When do you see new TV shows about it? You know, there's not very often new video games either that are advertised.
Yeah, you're saying the brand is underutilized.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
How come
saying...
it's not even appearing?
Can I have the
if you
controller?
How come the counter is not appearing?
I'm saying if you walked up to an 8-year-old right now and you asked
See
them
what I mean?
if they knew Pokemon or if they knew Yu-Gi-Oh, they'd say, I don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh is, but I know what Pokemon is.
I think you lost your counter because you got demoted.
Okay, so that's
I
why the
think we
combat
just
wasn't
thought you were
working.
stupid.
No, it's like the combat wasn't working because I think we got demoted.
Can I play for a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you
Yeah, that
lose
was
an
tiring.
ability?
Well, it's like what I said earlier, where it's like you lost the ability to tackle. It's like I don't know how to leap off my feet all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's just so hard now to dive and grab somebody.
Well, to be fair, it's not any more stupid, though, than, like, Ezio already being able to free run over the entire world and just putting on a robe, and now he's the assassin.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's kind of weird that he somehow already knew how to do all this weird acrobat
That
stuff.
made sense for Connor.
Yeah.
Although, maybe I sound racist. I'm not trying to. But, like, didn't the Native American people, like, hunt and, like, have to climb trees and stuff?
Well,
Yeah.
they even show him as a kid, like, running through the trees with his friend.
Right, I know. But if I just said...
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's what it.
Okay, I just don't
Okay.
want to sound bad, because if I went up to a Native American guy right now and I was like, hey, run through any trees lately? Like, that'd
No.
be...
It's like. But they were pretty good hunters and gatherers and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I thought with Connor it made sense.
Right. Well, especially that area of Native American people. You know, that New England area had a lot of like Iroquois and stuff like that in it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they were all pretty good at that stuff.
And that was still the time period where they were trying to survive off of the land and
Yeah.
their old ways, whereas now if you went up to a Native American person, they'd be a lot like us where they live in a house and stuff like that. They don't like run through the trees to hunt things.
Thank you, Joel, we know.
Something needs to be done. It's only a matter of time before someone else discovers it.
Tell him then, it's in his best interest to keep the souk secure.
He won't meet with me. Too busy with this new deal of his.
And the guards?
Tried already. They won't lift a finger unless the order comes from him.
Then what will you do?
I'll go to Albulnukut.
The merchant king? He won't see you.
He doesn't have to. I've written him a letter that explains the problem. He can read it and decide for himself.
So I need to steal his letter.